I posted that video, She Deserved the Purse, because of my friend Denisha's video when she went shopping and saw the purse in the baby aisle. That's what gave me the idea to go inside of Target to give a gift card. Honestly, what I was going inside of Target for was for something for my daughter. In that video, I challenged other creators to do the same. You guys, the amount of generosity and the way that this has grown has been beyond anything that Denisha and I ever thought.
So I actually come today with some TikTok trending news, and you might have seen it being passed around. It is called the She Deserves the Purse trend.
Trend going around in America called She Deserved the Purse. And so I'm just out running some errands at the moment, and I've decided I'm going to give it back to a mum here. I'm going to buy some pen and paper, write a little note, and leave some cash somewhere for a mum.
You might have seen it from different family vloggers and mummy vloggers that are doing this trend. I noticed that it's most prevalent among the family channels and the mummy vloggers. I first came across this when Mass and Abby decided to do it. You get some money or get a note, money, an item, whatever it is, and you stash it away kind of in between formula or in between baby lotion, baby products, that sort of thing, diapers, we call them nappies over here. You get the gist. Kind of taken a bit of a turn for the worst. So I'm gonna save my thoughts and feelings till the end to then fully discuss how I feel about it.
This is nuts. Like, how many 20s in all of the baby formula? This is crazy. Oh my, I'm gonna have to go look for more. This is insane. This is my lucky day right now. This is crazy.
So it was inspired by this lady, I think you pronounce her name Denisha, or it might be Dinesha. She created a TikTok video where there was a purse in between a load of baby items in the baby aisle, like lotions and talcum powder, that kind of thing. And it was captioned, "She deserves the purse." This video got millions of views, and she then did a follow-up video where she was explaining her thought process behind this. And in a nutshell, she looked at it and she said it might have been put there by accident, been exchanged by the parent because they couldn't afford what they wanted. In this case, it seems to be a mum who wanted a purse, and she then realized that she couldn't have it because otherwise the baby would have to go without.
I am absolutely blown away at the love that I received on a video that I posted a few days ago. There was an item in the baby section. Now, granted, it could have literally been from anyone. Someone could have just shoved it in there. Maybe been a worker that had left it there. But when I saw the purse, it reminded me of just the times where I have literally had things like in the cart and I've had to put it back. Sometimes those items aren't even just like wants, they're needs that I've had to sacrifice, just like as a mom. Was like, this is a very familiar moment that I have myself have walked through and still walk through a lot. Times where I've had to sacrifice, it's not even a second thought. You just naturally do it. Maybe there's a mom who could afford the purse and her sacrifice looks a little bit different. It's not even really just the purse. The purse was not the point. The point is just the beauty and the sacrifices that we make as parents. A beautiful friend of mine highlighted the post that I had made and decided to go back to Target and to give back to a mom. If you are in a position to where you can give, 100 more, if that's, the case for you. I know there's some moms who may only be able to give 50 or 25. And right now, that's just the season that I'm in. But I still want to be able to bless someone.
I, for one, have been in those situations where I've wanted something and I've had to put it back because my child needs X, Y, and Z. I've been in those financial situations, so I fully understand anyone who is going through that. Long story short, she then filmed herself getting some money and then putting it behind, I think it was some formula, and it then just catapulted, and now all of a sudden you have a lot of creators that I recognize who are also doing this trend, and as a whole people are extremely inspired. They're filming themselves, putting them behind the various different items, and from an outsider perspective it looks like a really charitable, nice thing to do. Now what has now happened, because bearing in mind this trend only recently took off, what has now happened is that there was this other TikToker who was browsing through Target, I believe, and she came across some teenagers who had discovered some notes within the formula and were then saying that they were going to open up all the formulas just to see if there was any money stashed inside of them.
So I'm just walking through the baby aisle in Target right now, and I come across this in the corner of my eye. And I see this, right? Baby aisle in Target right now, and look at this. What? Oh my, they're in all of them. This is nuts. Like, how many 20s in all of the baby formula? This is crazy. Oh my, I'm gonna have to go look for more. This is insane. This is my lucky day right now. This is crazy.
And this obviously sparked outrage. People were saying, why didn't you say anything? And she said this, she said, English is not my first language, but she recorded it and she got it on camera of these teenagers acting overjoyed that they have found some money. The creator, Tina Lee, did actually elaborate on the reasoning why she didn't respond. And basically she's pregnant and English is not a very first language. And also I completely 110%, I mean, I understand with everything that she's saying, but she does say that the teenagers would have probably laughed in her face, you know, and just not taken it very seriously. I, for one, get a little bit scared of groups of teenagers, which is crazy because, like, it wasn't, I'm 28. I mean, yes, 11 years ago I would have been a teenager, but still, right, groups of teenagers really freak me out, especially groups of teenagers when they're doing something wrong. Like, is it just me? I get freaked out by groups of teenagers. I don't know. And following on from this, I then went on and I had another little sneaky gander. And yeah, more people are starting to speak out on this trend.
This is actually really sad and crazy.
Hey, listen, I want to be really careful about how I say this because I think that people posting these videos hopefully do have good intentions. But this whole trend of helping out moms and putting like gift cards or like bills into baby products in like a Walmart or a Target, do we not see how this could go wrong like really fast? I'm gonna give it like 1 week max until these stores come out and make a post saying, hey, please stop doing this. Because you have these large creators essentially broadcasting like, hey, there's like free stuff in the mommy aisle, go ransack it. I know that's not what they're saying, but like that's what's gonna happen.
Some people are skeptical on just how genuine this trend is, as well as the practicality of it, of you advertising that you're putting money somewhere. Obviously, if this gets enough attraction, then people are then going to come along and start raiding formula packaging and basically making that formula just unusable. I can't imagine if you're ripping open things, people are then going to want to sell it. I have seen other videos where people are sort of like taking the mickey out of it and they're going, you know, as soon as we found out that people are stashing money in formula, you know, people are taking the mickey out of it. But there's always that risk that, like we saw with the teenager clip, that people will not use their better judgment, and, you know, you will have some kids that will go in and they will start looking through things, wrecking things in the process, and taking the money that you've left for the mum, the dad, the parent. I think the overall intent of this for a lot of people is a good one, don't get me wrong. I do question anyone that does decide in flocks, if they've seen that a particular video is doing really well on TikTok, they're going to want to emulate it, and they will do it just because other people are doing it. I personally think, and this might people might come at me. I think there's definitely better ways of doing this rather than the way that has been shown. And this is no shade or disrespect to the lady who started this at the very beginning, because I think her heart was very much in the right place. I'm sure the heart is in the right place for a lot of different people, but because this has now become a trend rather than it just being something that you spontaneously do, people are now filming it and doing it, and that then has a knock-on effect for other people to do it, but only really thinking about the views. And then of course you have other people who come along and they are then stealing said products. It was never going to be a long-lasting thing. I think that there are much better ways of being able to do this, such as scouting out your local charity, local shelter. I can't speak for the States, obviously don't live there, but I do know that within the UK where I live, in Wales, we do have multiple organisations who do help struggling parents or single parents. There's definitely organisations and groups that I'm sure would be more than happy to have items donated and also have money donated as well. They do definitely exist. I think that when it comes to this, I think the idea behind it, it's made people think and realise and maybe reflect upon a situation such as a mum struggling because she can't have something she wants because she has to buy her kid, you know, nappies, diapers, formula, that kind of thing. I think it sparks people to actually sit and reflect on it, because some people may not understand what that feels like. And in whichever capacity that happens, that's an amazing thing, because you should be aware that there are people out there who are severely struggling. However, I feel that this is going to be taken completely the other direction, where people are only doing this for clicks and views. And they have considered this before, but they don't actually care. And I'm not saying everyone is within that band camp, because that's definitely not true, but it's like when people video themselves giving money to the homeless. I know a lot of people who help out in soup kitchens, don't even get paid, never advertise it. I've got best friends who work in soup kitchens on their time off, and animals in distress and all of that kind of thing. So they go and do these charitable things, but they don't tell us all about it. I only know because I'm their best friend. You know, the amount of times that I know people in real life, my family, who give to the homeless in our local town. But once again, you're not advertising it. It's just something that you're doing. But you have these big creators who come along and they film themselves doing it. Giving back as a whole, I feel like, you know, it's really harsh to sit here and criticize people who are just trying to do a good thing. And I think some people have really good intentions, and then other people are only doing it for clicks and views, which will then lead more bigger creators and more people to do it, which then leads to people, as we just saw in the teenage clip, going along and searching for items, also trashing items. Those items could be not usable anymore. I think stores are really going to be keeping a close eye on this kind of thing, and you know, if products keep on being wrecked, they're gonna clamp down on it and say we can't do this anymore. I don't know, just from me, I'd always advise going to, as usually within your town or area, little clubs and groups who do help struggling parents, and I think that that would be a better way to go. And then you can then advertise, if you really wanted to, you could advertise yourself donating, do you know what I mean, to then encourage other people to do the same, because anyone can get hold of any of the stuff that's being left. That's the thing. How do you know that it's actually going to people that need it? The next parent that might come along might not need it whatsoever, but might just take it. Not every parent has good intentions, not every mum has good intentions. They might come along and decide, oh, it's payday, and they don't actually need it. It could have gone to someone else that actually needs it. That's just what I think. And it might make me sound a bit like, you know, a negative Nelly, but that's just my overall feeling on it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves. I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.